Bhagavan, what's the relationship between our thoughts and beliefs in the body? I think there's developed quite an understanding through the work of different people in the West in the last years that certain kind of thinking, negative thinking, or limited thinking, or fear can impact the body. What is the relationship between thought and health?
We believe that it is very true, because we believe thought is power. And we use thought in a very constructive way. Like in the Homas, we use thought to grant boons, to solve problems. So by the same token, if thoughts are going to be negative, you could bring about a disaster on yourself. So thoughts do play a very significant role, the kind of thoughts that you have.
So what about, you've been talking earlier, and we're going to talk later, about this state of oneness or enlightenment,
Yes.
which is quite a loaded term, actually,
Yes.
in the West,
Yes.
what enlightenment means.
Yes.
You've defined it more recently in neurobiological terms as
Yes.
a decrease in activity of the parietal
Yes.
lobes.
Yes.
If someone crosses over this threshold
Yes.
in the parietal lobes, what would you anticipate would be the effect on their health?
On your health, I would expect a dramatic improvement in your health, because all those ailments which were being caused by your negative thoughts, by your traumas, they should in due course disappear. But let us say you have crossed the threshold, but there are cases where in spite of crossing the threshold, there's not much change in the mind, in which case the disease might not get healed. There are people, the moment they cross this threshold, not only they go out of the mind, a transformation within the mind also occurs. They are the ones who become healed. There are those who get out of the mind, but the same old mind continues. In them you don't see much healing.
I've heard, as you know, I've been researching a book about Diksha, so I've been talking to people in many countries. And I've actually heard some pretty astounding stories. For example, there was a man in Denmark who's going to be in the book, who had cancer. He had previously had cancer in one lung. The lung was removed. He only had one lung left. And then they started to notice these shadows on the scan, which indicated more cancer. He received a Diksha on a Saturday. He felt a lot of tingling going down into his chest. On Tuesday, when he went into the hospital, they operated and the cancer was gone. There are quite a few, not hundreds, but I've found quite a few instances like that of pure miracles, of quite advanced stages of disease disappearing instantaneously. How can you explain that to a skeptical Western doctor?
Basically, we believe that it is our own thought which has created this body and the environment. So if we can bring about a change in the thought structure, it is accompanied by physical changes. And Diksha has the power of restructuring your thought. And once that happens, physically things change. They could change very dramatically within moments. And when I say transformation of thought, I mean changes in consciousness. Once that happens, you can do wonders with it. You can materialize objects, you can make them disappear. You can do anything you like, because you're actually God and you can create. So people do not realize the power that they hold within themselves. So once you realize that, then it becomes child's play.
I guess there's a lot that Western science has yet to discover about reality.
I think so.
Yes.